And then finally, which, I feel bad saying finally, but was that a football game or was that a football game? Congratulations to the Michigan Wolverines. First playoff win under Coach Jim Harbaugh in 3 attempts. This is Alabama's first loss in the semifinal since the very first college football playoff when they lost to Ohio State. We saw a lot of things today. We saw some questions answered. One of those questions that I had going into this game was, how does Michigan respond? They hadn't trailed in the second half at all this season until today. How would they respond? We'll come back to that. So this game started out a little rough. Defenses came to play. Michigan was pushing Alabama's offensive line all into Jalen Milroe, 5 sacks in the first half. And then Michigan went through this phase where they just didn't want to win the game. It started early. Samaj Morgan with the muffed punt sets up Alabama. A couple plays later, Jace McClellan, 34 yards up the sideline, touchdown. And I said, oh, shit, here we go. Because, see, when the season started, preseason rankings, we talked about this. My 4-team playoff was Michigan, Alabama, Florida State, Washington, in that order. And I had Michigan over Alabama in the national title game. But I said yesterday on the Hot Box, but now that we're here, I thought Alabama was going to win. So when I saw that muffed punt, I said, oh, Michigan does it again. Last year, J.J. McCarthy, 2 pick sixes against TCU. The touchdown that wasn't. So, as this was going on, Alabama went into halftime with something like 96 total yards. And, 34 of that came on McClellan's touchdown run that we just spoke about. But Michigan kept responding. And then, like I said, how were they going to respond? Getting punched in the mouth in the second half. They weren't getting that pressure that they were getting in the first half. 5 sacks in the first half. They got the 1 sack in the second half. They missed the field goal. And then I don't know what Buddy was thinking on that last punt under a minute left with Michigan with a chance to win the game. Almost gave up a safety. Would that have been a way to lose a playoff game or what? But I think Michigan just got away from what was working early. Early in the first half, they had Alabama on their toes because they are the type of team that punches it down your throat. And they tried to throw some misdirection. They tried some play action. They tried some trick plays, and they had success. But in the third quarter, when they were up 13-10 at halftime, I felt that Michigan just tried to milk the clock, even though it was the third quarter. They just tried to hold on to the ball as long as they could and get up out of there. But Alabama's too good of a team for that. Alabama's too well coached of a team for that. So Alabama started running the angles, counters, instead of running straight at Michigan, take it to the outside, stretch it a little bit. And they found success. They went up 20-13. Michigan missed the field goal. Michigan got that big stop to hold Alabama to the field goal. And think about this. Reichert hit a 50 and a 52-yard field goal in this game. Michigan muffed the punt twice. They had it was just so much going on. I'm so jittery right now, because it was such an exciting game. But Michigan missed the field goal. They fumbled an extra point snap. It was just a lot going on. Neither team felt like they wanted to win. And then you had Jalen Milroe, I mean, not Milroe, but the offensive line snapping the ball twice, almost a third time where he had to catch the ball near his ear because the snap was off. So I don't know if you can attribute that to these teams hadn't played in a month. And that was just what was going to happen. It was going to be an ugly, sloppy game when you have this much time off. But salute to the Wolverines. Now they wait in the national title game for the winner of this Washington-Texas barn burner that we got going on, 21-21. CJ Baxter just hit pay dirt. I told you about him in the preseason, 21-21, 15 seconds from halftime. So, I think regardless of what happens next week? Michigan proved their point. They beat the mighty SEC. They beat the mighty Nick Saban. So take your hat off to them. So we'll see who they get. I picked Washington. We'll see what happens. But once again, hail to the victors.